So today I'll be talking about the internal structure of the midbrain. So this midbrain, it is studied as at two levels. One is at the level of inferior colliculus and other is at the level of superior colliculus. So this internal structure, in common, both these features are seen at both the levels. So the transverse section of the midbrain, it shows a tiny canal, and this we call it as the cerebral aqueduct. So here we have the cerebral aqueduct, and then a coronal plane that is passing through this aqueduct. It divides the midbrain into two parts, a small posterior part and a large anterior part. So this is the plane that is dividing it into two parts. So the small posterior part, we call it as tectum, and it consists of four colliculi, that is superior and inferior colliculi. So that is the tectum. Now coming to the large anterior part, it is again divided into two parts, right and left, by a vertical plane. So these two structures, we call it as the cerebral peduncle. So that is the plane dividing it into right and left cerebral peduncles. Now each cerebral peduncle, it is further subdivided into three parts, and from dorsal to ventral side, these are the tegmentum, then we have the substantia nigra, and then we have the crus cerebri. So the ANAVU part of this will be dealt by Dr. Humaira.
So today I'll be speaking about midbrain. So midbrain is the part of the brainstem which comes after cerebral hemisphere, and continuation of the midbrain is pons and then medulla oblongata. Here in this ANAVU software, we are able to see the midbrain in different planes. We are able to see it as AP view, lateral view, and superior-inferior view. So here, starting with the antero-posterior view, this is the ventral surface of the midbrain here in the upper part. So you are able to see with the labelings in the ventral part, you are able to see this as crus cerebri and this as midbrain tegmentum part. So when we move this image, you can move it from ventral to dorsal aspect. In the dorsal aspect, you are able to see the superior elevations and inferior elevations, which are named as superior colliculi and inferior colliculi, and this is the posterior part. Similarly, you have the anterior part, which is also visible here at this level, and then you can also visualize midbrain in superior-inferior view. This is the transverse section, which has already been seen in the PPT. In the transverse section, we see that the midbrain is being divided into smaller posterior part, which is called tectum, and then a larger anterior part, which is called cerebral peduncle, which further is divided into crus cerebri, substantia nigra, and then tegmentum. So this can also be seen in this manner. Here you are able to see the superior and inferior colliculi at this part, and it is also possible to see through right and the left side. Here this is the view of midbrain through the left side. So here we are able to see crus cerebri, and similarly we can also move it posteriorly and then to the right side in this manner. So this is the way we can use ANAVU software and learn the different planes of the midbrain and its features. Thank you.